What a team. What a...
I call the Honourable David Cunliffe.
Speaker, being lectured to by that member's like being savaged by a poodle. Here's what the public knows. Sky City, Warner Brothers, Media Works, Banksy and .com, GCSB and FBI, Solid Energy and UFB, car park taxes and iPad taxes. What a nightmare, Mr. Speaker, what a nightmare. And what does it add up to? Hands on? No way. It's the worst economic record in 51 years. 51 years. 6.9% unemployment, 270,000 New Zealanders out of jobs, the biggest international debt in the Western world, worse than Greece. And we have the singular pleasure of being lectured to on financial probity and truth-telling by John Banks. That's like being lectured to on social graces by Jack the Ripper, as my colleague Mr. Hipkins has said. So who broke the law, Mr. Banks? Who forgot about the helicopter ride and the reported free iPad? Mr. Speaker, what about the birthday party for Kim.com that John Banks attended? What about the money in the brown paper bag, Mr. Speaker? Let's talk about that, Mr. Banks, if you can be bothered coming back to face the music. Mr. Speaker, credit where credit's due. Let's be fair. I want to give some credit today to the National Party backbench. Look at them. It's tough work, Mr. Speaker. They're the back-down benches. The back-down benches have had to back down twice this week already to cover for the back-down Minister of Revenue, Peter Done like a dinner, sir. 2 strikes and he's nearly out. 1 more and he's done. Mr. Speaker, the car park tax. The back down was inevitable because it made no financial sense. Cost $2 in compliance costs for every dollar's worth of revenue it collected. How did that one get across the cabinet table, Mr. Speaker? That's what the back down benches want to know. Why were they let down? They were hands off. They had no hands on the wheel of that one. It was a red tape nightmare, Mr. Speaker. What about the iPad tax? They didn't even cost that one. Or the cell phone tax, where they would have to account for the IRD for all their phone calls. 1980s ideas being foisted on a 21st century generation. What are the mums and dads ferrying their kids around answering emails from the office going to say to the back-down benches? Thank God, they say, John Key killed it. Well, he damn near killed his own minister because he announced the taxes were dead as he walked yesterday into the House, but he hadn't told the Minister of Revenue. So he blindsided Peter Dunn right before question time. Mr. Speaker, the back-down benches have got their eyes on that National United Future Coalition agreement. It's supposed to have things like confidentiality and collective responsibility in it. So there was Mr. Dunn defending the car park tax in the Herald while the Prime Minister was on the radio at the same time rubbishing his own minister's policy. Mr. Speaker, I wouldn't want to be a United Future member because I'm a proud member of the New Zealand Labour Party, a party that stands for step change, not small change. It's the party that's going to bring New Zealand a modern tax system with a capital gains tax, R&D tax incentives. It's going to close some major avoidance loopholes and it's going to get the country moving. Mr. Speaker, we're going to be a hands-on government. We're going to stand for step change, not small change. And those back-down benches are going to enjoy their comfy, cosy little seats for about another 18 months before they're off to the wilds of opposition. And they see the glimmer of ministerial office fading away. Fading away, the back-down benches. Look at them. There are the ministers off in their LTDs, and there are the back-down benches eating gruel in the back rows over there. having to be beaten to a pulp by the Labor Party yet again, Mr Speaker, while the public counts the score. And what the public knows, sir, it's like a rotting carcass on the body politics. This government's on its way out.
It stinks.
And when we do the rounds of corporate New Zealand, we're getting the same message all the time, which is, oh, you guys, time we got to know you because we know that you're going to be the government in 18 months' time. Mr Speaker, this is at best a two-term government if it lasts that long. And New Zealanders know that it's going to be a Labour-led government that takes New Zealand into the future.
I call the honourable member Scott Simpson.
Mr Speaker, what an interesting afternoon.